Do you remember that guy that did like the 4-panel like acapella like of all of John Williams' score? Like I have it pulled up on YouTube right now. If you want to like listen to like a quick bit of it, and then it'll probably like ring a bell in your head.
Can we do that?
I mean, it's not gonna. They're not gonna hear it. They're not gonna hear it.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, if they can't hear it, Jesus.
Anything? No. There you go.
That was horrifying.
I forgot how loud that was. I had it.
No, I don't remember that horrifying thing.
I think you would really like it. This dude, like, he records, like, he does a 4-part acapella of, like, doing John Williams' score through, it's that first one that you first heard was Close Encounters, and then I fast-forwarded to the beginning of Indiana Jones.
Okay.
But, like, he does Jaws as well, Star Wars, and Indiana Jones Reprise, and all of his lyrics that he's singing with it are all, like, inspired from, like, John Williams movies that he's composed.
Yeah, I heard Wookiee.
Yeah.
Right? Did I hear that right?
Was save the Wookiee, kill the droid. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised that, like, you missed that.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, fucking...
when was that video?
I think it was before 2010.
I was like, it doesn't say right there?
I already closed it.
Oh, okay.
And also, you know, with YouTube, they I don't know if it was a re-upload or what have you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll show it to me later when not loud and abrasively in my face. All right. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Welcome back, everyone, to our 100th episode.
100.
So we now have quite the back catalog for everyone to check out.
What voice did I just do there? That sounded like somebody.
I don't know.
100.
Kind of reminded me of the cryogenist in Futurama.
I think that's it.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow. That's what it kind of reminded me of. But yes, so for our 100th episode, it's going to be a little bit of an easy peasy one.
I'm going to a wedding. He
has to go to a wedding, so we are doing a little, we're just going to talk about some video game stuff.
Video games.
We gave ourselves kind of a loose script to kind of build some structure on what we're going to talk about. But yeah, so, and in our promos, you will see probably images of what the topics were. I was thinking I might be putting them in a specific order of what they're talked about. So you kind of see a timeline.
How we progressed in our conversation.
Yeah.
Have fun with that. We're like two squirrels. What?
That way, you kind of, as you swipe through the images, you're like, this is when they talk about that, and that's when they talk about this. But yeah, so like Jacob said, he's going to a wedding, so let's get this ball rolling. Do you want to start us off, or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess, do you want to start off with stuff that we've completed?
Yeah, let's do completed, currently, looking forward to.
Sounds.
Past, present, future.
Whoa, it's like a mold or something, man. The mold. I'm really. I didn't drink any of my Red Bull before we started, so I'm like not actually awake yet.
I'm looking forward to that blip later on. I'm suddenly going to get real excited.
Oh, my God, yeah. So, I mean, I think I kind of brought it up a little bit that I finished Elden Ring a while ago. And because of that, I've actually had like a really bad video game fatigue.
Yeah. Well, because you platinum it, right?
Yeah, I platinum trophied Elden Ring.
Good job, bud.
Woo! Really, it's actually, in my opinion, it's really not that hard to platinum trophy the game.
You're talking to someone that hasn't even beaten it yet, so it sounds like quite an ordeal.
Well, really, because, okay, so all of the trophies except for like 4 or 5 of them. Oh, wait, no, there's also those ones. Most of the trophies are all just trophies from defeating either main story bosses or side bosses.
Oh, yeah, and I guess we're just off the top here. Spoiler warning for anything we talk about?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't know anything. I mean, I don't know how... I'm not going to really talk about in depth of the ending of Elden Ring because it's actually kind of boring.
Yeah, it's all about the journey, not the destination.
The game itself is just like amazingly fun and whatnot. But I mean, that's also From Software endings have always been kind of like and congratulations, play again, type thing. But like, no, the trophies, like, it's either like all like enemies or bosses that you fight. I mean, finding some of those side bosses, that's kind of tricky. But like, and then there's 3 for the endings, like your regular ending, your Moonlight ending, and then the Frenzied ending. The getting to the round table the first time, that's a trophy. But collecting all of the legendary talismans, all of the legendary sorceries and incantations, and all of the legendary weapons, those are 3 individual trophies as well.
I don't think I've ever platinumed a game.
This is the first big game that I've platinumed. I've come close to platining some games, but then like it'll be like one little trophy where it's like that's fucking impossible. Like, why is this a thing?
Why is that in there?
Like I think the first one that I came close to platinuming was Batman Arkham Asylum, and I think one trophy was like you had to throw the Batarang for like 250 plus feet for something, and I was like, why? That's dumb. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Well, I was thinking, it's so funny you said Batman too, because I was like, I did everything in Arkham Knight, and then I remembered except the Riddler, because I never ever get around to the Riddler because it's annoying.
Well, the Riddler, and it sounds like in Arkham Knight they made the Riddler even more like the Riddler challenges even more annoying. Like in the first one, in the Arkham Asylum, they were clever. I felt. Like the way they had to like line up the camera in specific ways, like actually find the question mark.
It was in a building, which made it different.
It was easier. Yeah, it was a very isolated spot to find the clues. Arkham City is the second one, right?
Yeah.
I think
Arkham Asylum, Arkham City,
yeah.
Arkham Knight.
I think I got all of the Riddler stuff in Arkham City. I think. Anywho,
well, then I have seen the fight with him at the end, and even the fight looks annoying as fuck.
Oh, in Arkham Knight?
Yeah, to like finally catch him and add him to the Rogues Gallery. I watched it and I was like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't care anymore.
But yeah, no, so I finished Elden Ring, but like, so because I platinumed it, and it was, I think platinuming it was 212 hours total that I played this fucking game over the course of a month and a half. Yeah, because or maybe 2. Yeah, I played the hell out of this game. So yeah, I got this really big just like video game fatigue, and like nothing seemed enjoyable to play. Like I tried to start playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, and like I went through the tutorial and I was like, okay, well, no, right. I think I tried to get back in Horizon Zero Dawn. I started to play Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, got through the tutorial of that, and I was like,
I think your problem is you're playing big games. I think you need something smaller.
That's why I'm going into my nostalgia kick.
Yeah.
But like, well, one thing also, I don't know if I'll be able to sit through Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, because I think Team 4-Star ruined Dragon Ball Z for me. I don't think I can watch, because like I've talked to you about Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Yeah.
Every time I like watch like actual Dragon Ball Z now, it's not as funny to me. It's not as enjoyable. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is so much better, in my opinion, than what the actual fucking writers wrote.
Remind me, what is Kakarot's style? Is it like Mortal Kombat sidey fight, or is it like Xenoverse? It's like Xenoverse. Like you have like a 3-dimension to fly up and down, and you have like your button combos, like throw out like hold like this and press for
Y
like key blasts
for like your, or triangle for your like Kamehameha.
I can't remember what it was.
And then you have to like charge your key up and stuff.
I didn't get into Kakarot.
Yeah, I mean,
we got it at the same time, and both of us just kind of fell off of it really quick.
I never started it.
Yeah, you bought it. You never played it.
I never bought it. I waited for it to be free.
Oh, you did? I thought you bought it.
No, I never bought it.
I bought it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I was, you know me, I don't like to buy a game unless I know I'm going to be playing it.
I mean, I'm like that now.
Yeah.
For a lot of stuff.
Because, like, especially after Death Stranding, that game hurt me. It hurt me emotionally. Emotional damage!
Well, no, the second one's coming out, so there you go. It's going to happen. Or rumored. I don't know if it's actually
but, like, so, because of that, like, I went through and I did complete Chrono Cross, the remastered Radical Dreamers edition on my Switch, which was just because I kind of just like the nostalgia flip, you know. And like I remember playing this game back in like 1998, and is that right? Or maybe it's 97. The year that it came out, me and Tyler would fucking listen to Outkast on repeat and play Chrono Cross. That was kind of the jam for the minute, and we were like in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
A lot of hey, and then you beating up enemies. Where was I going with that?
I don't know.
I think the Red Bull's starting to kick in. I wanted to replay Chrono Cross, and also, oh yeah, that's where my brain was going. I find it really interesting to like. I went from Elden Ring to Legend of Zelda, the original NES one that came out like 1985 or 86, to Chrono Cross, which came out like 95, 96. So like, it's weird to see these like games through different generations and like their accessibility. And like Elden Ring obviously is, you know, accessible to people that have the, you know, patience to die all the time. So, but Chrono Cross, like for its time period being like it's a turn-based RPG. For those that don't know, it's a turn-based RPG that deals with parallel dimensions and time travel in a big way. And the story is very dense to where it's a lot of things happen, and then like when it cuts in, like you just defeated like a main boss, and now you got to like watch the characters slowly walk through this like pixelated world, and then there's like dialogue boxes, and you're reading this, and I'm sitting there and just happening. I'm like, there was a moment in time where this was the peak of gaming. You know, this was a cool experience where I was watching this happen, and like it was like so cool to be reading and discovering this story. And now like we've evolved so much where like these dialogue boxes are hard to like, it's like I don't have the patience for them as much anymore. Like quick dialogue boxes like here and there, that's fine, you know, but like it's so weird where it's like you can tell that this game was at this like its peak of where stories were starting to get so convoluted and so dense for video games that they couldn't continue doing this dialogue box. Like they had to figure out how to make things like Final Fantasy X, where finally you're hearing the story, you're watching this stuff. You're not just sitting there and reading them, like waiting for the dialogue box to fill up and be like, okay, cool. And then hit next, and then they move and the next sequence happens. Like you're actually watching the video happen in front of you. And which is where the PlayStation 2 like took over all of that.
I miss a lot of story in games that have strictly dialogue boxes.
Really?
Because I don't have the patience to read it. I just spam pass through it. I just don't.
So you just said you miss it.
I miss a lot of story because
miss a lot.
I don't have the patience to sit there and read there because I'm like,
and like
because if I went in a sense, because now it's like those kind of games are visual novels almost.
Exactly,
now.
yeah.
And it's like, well, if I didn't sign up to play a visual novel, I don't want to sit there and read a fucking novel, you know?
Yeah. But like, and I think that might just be also a generational thing between you and I, is that like the games that I grew up on, starting with on my NES, that's all you had, you know? There was like, you had to do the dialogue box because it was the NES.
Yeah, but
you know?
even like with my Super Nintendo, there were still dialogue boxes, but for like Mario and Donkey Kong and stuff like that, they were so quick because there wasn't a huge
the story you're playing through it. But like, even still, like, how old were you when you got your Xbox?
Oh, I don't know. I got it. I think I got it when it was released.
So before you were 10.
You think so? I don't know.
Xbox came out in like 1996.
The first one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, I had an Xbox forever.
Yeah.
I've always had an Xbox.
But like, so like you might, yeah. So you may have like had like play like Super Nintendo and like, yeah, you played, you know, those games in kind of your formative years.
In Game Boy.
But your truly formative years, like your early preteens, like, and like late adolescence, like, do you have memories of playing the Xbox when you're like 9, 10? Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 9, 10, the Super Nintendo was like the coolest thing.
I'm trying to remember too, like even for the early Xbox generation, the first games that come to mind are like Vex, Voodoo Vince, Brute Force, Golden Lotus. I'm trying to think of how much dialogue was actually in those. I don't think Vex had a lot of dialogue. Voodoo Vince, I think, was text bubbles.
It was probably like a lot more like at the beginning of the level and at the end of the level.
Yeah.
Is that me?
Is our okay Google go off again?
It's yours.
It's mine.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Right?
What did I say to make you think that I needed your assistance?
It's like, no, Google, I'm fine. Stop listening.
Yeah, like what did I say to make whatever?
Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's Big Brother listening to us. But like no, so like going back and playing the original Legend of Zelda, and when I beat also both Chrono Cross and Legend of Zelda, I used an online walkthrough because I didn't want to sit there and go through the fucking dialogue boxes and try to remember everything. Two, Legend of Zelda is like these early regular Nintendo games are brutally hard because there's zero direction. You're just throwing into a map, and most of these like early regular Nintendo games, you would have to have like the booklet that came with it, the video game manual, because at the back of those there would be a little bit of storyline to give you the direction of where to go at the beginning.
I miss those little books.
Yeah, those were cool, right?
Yeah, I remember those. Those were cool.
So like then Legend of Zelda, I was just sitting there playing it, and
I remember like some of them had notes in the back.
Yeah,
you can make like you could write in
exactly.
there.
Yeah, you know that, and they had the storyline in there.
Yeah.
That's how you knew who Samus was in Metroid.
On the back of video game cases, do they even put like a synopsis anymore? Or
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
It's kind of like a quick it's like a quick little synopsis with like maybe a review and yeah.
I can't remember the last time I bought a physical.
Same. I was just thinking about that. Like, I don't even remember the last physical copy. I think the last physical copy handed to me of a newer game was when you bought me Fallout 76. Possibly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that was years ago. But yeah, no. So Legend of Zelda, this first one, like, there's little direction, zero direction. You just like have to like kind of discover all of it as you go along. And I was sitting there, I'm like, how did kids like play this? Like, how did my brother beat this? How did I play this when I was a kid? And I just it just dawned on me as I like kept like dying and dying and dying. It was like, oh, kind of like with Elden Ring, like you just explore, trial and error.
Yeah.
You run around, you collect enough rupees. You find the spot where you go and talk to the person that gives you a hint for the next dungeon, but you got to find that person if you haven't already found the next dungeon, and all that. So like, it's like this game has everything you need in it. You just got to like literally be super explorative and also the fucking video game hotline back in like the 80s and early 90s was a free thing. You could call the Nintendo helpline, and a professional gamer would get on the phone and be like, and tell you what to do. Be like, oh yeah, so you want to actually go left, up, and then go into, when you see these bushes, there's going to be a bush that's kind of on the bottom right. Burn that bush. It's going to open up a new dungeon for you. And it's like, oh, cool, thank you. And just hang up the phone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's free. It's fucking crazy. My brother used to call that shit all the time. I brought this up before.
I can't believe what y'all did before internet.
Dude, I know, right? It blows my mind. Like the evolution of just like how video games have become, and and kind of going back to kind of what I was talking about with Chrono Cross, how it was like at this peak of like where the PlayStation was, and it was like we were ready for the next thing for it to upgrade. And like I've been kind of playing some Donkey Kong Country too, like for the 16-bit graphic era or 24-bit graphic era, the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis were the peak. They were the top of the line, you know?
Yeah.
So, which is why, and I think it's easier to play those games because they are the peak of that, like, graphics. They are the peak of what that machine can do. Like, the peak of how storytelling can be told, the peak of how gameplay can happen. It's actually smooth and whatnot. Going back and playing a first generation PlayStation game, they're still figuring out these mechanics, you know? Mm-hmm. It might look prettier. It's like it's actually in 3 dimensions, even like the Nintendo 64 where you got 3 dimensions. The camera can move a little bit more, but the controls, at the time when we were playing the controls, we were figuring out we're getting good at it. Now controls for all this stuff have gotten a lot more smoother. The camera moves quicker. The camera, you can control your inverted, your X and Y axis, all that stuff. So we're so used to that. Now when we go back to that PlayStation 1 game or that Halo or that the Xbox game, and the controls were like, wow, this camera's really not good. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, this is really like got a delay on its controls. It's crazy that it was the beginning of the new generation, and now we're again at that peak of like how good things can get.
It's kind of funny. There's a lot of tie-ins happening that you just don't know yet.
What?
Like with the stuff I'm going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of tie-ins.
Yeah, that's fair. I just talked for like 15 to 20 minutes, so I think you should take over a little bit.
What I've been playing... this is kind of old news at this point, but I beat Stray, which was released July 19th, and it was on the PlayStation Plus Now whatever catalog. So if you were,
I think it is still.
I don't want to say that and then it's not anymore. But that's how I got my hands on it because I was really curious about it, but I was like, I'm not going to spend money on it. Well,
it is actually for a new game. It's not $60. It's only $40 if you do want to purchase.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's actually it's a little bit cheaper than what a general.
Okay,
yeah,
well that was the thing too. So yeah, it was released July 19th. Yeah, 19th of this year, and you play as a little kitty cat that runs around this cyberpunk city that is populated by robots, which are really charming. Their whole design, but like one of the tie-ins is that story is because you're a cat, you meet this little robot named B12, which I think is really cute because the developer was Blue 12 Studios.
Oh, cool! So it's a
B12.
little Easter egg. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and you wear this little backpack and the little thing like flies around with you and helps you solve puzzles, whether it be like pick up this key because you're a cat and you can't put a key in your pocket. It'll digitalize everything and keep it with it and then whatever.
Yeah, it's cute.
But since you're a cat and you can't talk, the B12 can talk to you and the robot, so it's your interpreter. Mm-hmm. So it talks to the robot and then it looks at you and it's like, hey, what is that? Hey, you want to...
And then as a cat, you just stare at it like...
Yeah. But really charming, and it was like, especially because I was on the Elden Ring kick for a minute, and then I don't know if I said this on mic, but it started to depress me because it had that very Shadow of Colossus feel where everything was just bleak all the time, and it just started really bumming me out. And then I played this, and this was really like sweet, and the gameplay was really interesting. You feel like a cat.
Yeah. Because
also they did something that annoyed me at first. You can't jump. You know, when we play stuff together.
As a cat?
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
You know how when we play something online, I'm like,
you're jumping
I'm a
all
hopper,
the time. Yeah.
Right? What they have done instead is that if you want to get up onto a ledge, there's a prompt where you go up and it says hit X.
Okay.
But what that does is it gives it this very sleek, purposeful thing like a cat.
Like a ready to jump type thing?
Yeah, like everything. It's not like you're a cat just like hopping around like and missing ledges. You could only jump onto certain
like fucking
things.
Goat Simulator.
Yeah. But it was like a very interesting choice, which I was annoyed about first because I was like, oh man, I want it to be more open worldy, but it creates this very smooth.
Yeah.
You're a cat. You're an agile feline, you know? And it's really just about exploring, solving little puzzles for these little robot characters. There's a couple combat moments that
it's like like timed out, like action time.
No, not like that. It's more like there are these little critters running around that are like
mice.
No, they're not. They kind of look like the head crabs from Half-Life.
I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay, but that's what they kind of look like. But they have one big like yellow eye. But there's a point you get like a little UV light and they can't handle sunlight, so you shoot them with that, and it doesn't really great. Basically, the combat is running away from them. Yeah, because if you get swarmed, you die. Oh, the first game I played in a while where I didn't die once.
Oh, but how do you know if you get swarmed, you die?
Because the screen starts to go red, and you know what I mean.
Oh, you never actually died, but you're like, oh no, these are actually going to kill me.
Yeah, like if I don't get away from them. Okay. But then I thought what was really fun too. The story is kind of what is charming, but this is also produced by Annapurna.
Okay.
which did Journey and
yes. Oh,
so they're very artsy, kind of not feel good. I don't know, calming in moments.
Yeah.
But Stray has some really cool stealth missions that you have to do, and it's really fun. You're a cat, and you're like hiding from these robots and stuff like that.
I found it amusing. I saw a meme where it's like video games are either this or this, and like one of them is like it's like video games are either this, and it's like shows this clip from Stray, and it's like press O to meow.
Yeah.
And then it's like or press X, and it's like violent. I think it's like Mortal Kombat. Press X to slit throat, and I'm just like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is that? Or the other meme is like, this is that person being like, this is what I hate about video games. It like plays into the male fantasy.
Oh yeah, and then it gets to like a guy.
And it cuts to like a guy like putting the bag on the cat's head and like, look at that, like. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't checked it out, it was really short. I finished it within like 2 or 3 playthroughs, and I got to like 80 or 90% completion.
Mm-hmm. I think I read somewhere that there's about 8 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, and you could really streamline it.
And depending like how much extra you want to like add on to like you want replay values.
Yeah, and it was like I really took my time with it too because it was just a fun, pretty world to just travel around in and just meet. Like even with and this was kind of one of the time the whole text talking thing. I found myself very interested in what these robots had to say, and like clearly there were humans at one time, but that was long ago. So now these robots are just kind of the population of this bunkered underground city. And
it kind of gives me that like Love, Death, and Robots. The feel of those the robot shorts.
I could definitely see that. Like it has that kind of vibe, and it's like a carrot. You just go, okay, there were humans, now there's not, and you're slowly trying to find out.
Discover what happened to them, to the humans?
Kind of, sort of. I don't really want to like
spoil it.
I don't really want to spoil it. That was one thing. Like a lot of people I was reading and hearing lately really liked the ending. And I didn't think the ending was bad. I was just very underwhelmed.
That's
I was
fair.
like, oh, all right, well, that was a fun 9-hour little journey.
Yeah.
Next thing,
As opposed to my 212 hours. I mean, like,
yeah, it was nice just to be like, oh, I was just a cat for a week, Like,
and then me, I feel like when I beat the game, my brain just kind of like walked out of a room and like my hair's like, and I'm like, it's complete. I've done it.
I will say that, like, that you think of, like, especially for movies and video games and stuff like that, for, like, the year of 2022, I think Stray's up there. Like, I think anyone that was ever interested in it, just give it a try. It was cute.
Yeah.
It was very... And I really like Annapurna. Like,
yes. I thought also, like, I thought that video game company produced Journey. Like, they're actually called that video game company.
Well, I mean, the publishers were Annapurna. I don't know who developed.
Oh,
Journey.
Okay.
But they published like Outer Wilds. They even 12 Minutes, which I still haven't played because I'm like kind of scared of it.
Play what?
There's this game called 12 Minutes that came out. That's got a lot of. It's a loop game trying to solve a guy's trying to solve a murder of his wife, but he has 12 minutes until the cops come to arrest him.
What?
And like Willem Dafoe's in it, and like so it's
what?
this.
This sound wow! How have you not brought this up to me?
Oh, I don't know. I thought, I think it's on their catalog if you want to download it and check it out. It's apparently really brutal, and I don't know.
It sounds awesome.
I heard people didn't like it. I'd be down. Do you want to play it?
Yes.
Yeah. So but it's a loop where you're trying to solve this murder.
Yeah.
But even that, like Annapurna, it's kind of like the A24 thing. They get their hands on very interesting, even if it's like complete garbage. It's interesting, even aesthetically or plot wise. They kind of are the weird little curiosity collectors of video games.
Yeah.
They like to get their hands on all these little strange things, So, but yeah, I liked it. That is what I completed.
Yeah. So what are you playing right now?
I am. Mine.
You go first, because
Okay.
I really don't have much.
Okay.
More.
I am playing something I'm very excited for, and warning, there's some stuff in here that's not great. Cult of the Lamb.
What the fuck is that?
Cult of the Lamb was just released August 11th. It is did I write it down? It is like a roguelike action farming simulator, I guess would be a way to put it.
What?
So you are this adorable little lamb.
What's the like play style? Like, is it like platformer? Is it the third person? Is it?
It's like Stardew Valley.
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
look.
So it's like old school like yeah.
A lot of people I have heard are comparing it to Animal Crossing, which
Yes.
I get, but I think it's more like Stardew. Like, it's Animal Crossing in the fact they're cute little animals, but it's not like Animal Crossing is so much more focused on like details of making your island.
I don't think they're saying that it's like Animal Crossing like that. I think they're just saying the gameplay, like how you look at the game and play it.
Yeah. But
Which
I think
is also because Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing are exactly the same in gameplay.
except the fact that Stardew Valley has combat, Animal Crossing does not.
Okay, I don't care about that. I'm saying like the
But
way that you play the game, where it's like the point of view of your character and how you look at them and they move around.
Yeah, it's like Stardew.
That's the same. It's the exact same gameplay. It just Stardew Valley has combat. Animal Crossing doesn't
But I still think that I think the comparison is Stardew Valley is probably a better comparison
because there is combat.
because of and also the way the combat loop works specifically. But yeah, so you're this little lamb and you get sacrificed by these elder gods, and you wake up in some other plane, and there's the chained one that lives beneath or something like that, and it is like, you are now going to take my name and create a following, aka you're going to make a cult in my name, and I'm going to bring you back to life and start giving you powers to release me from my brethren.
Have you ever played The Binding of Isaac?
No, I've heard a lot about it though.
Because what you're talking about reminds me a lot of The Binding of Isaac.
I've always wanted to check it out. I always forget about it until someone brings it up. But so yeah, so you get this, and so there's two points to the game. There is the farming, making your cults, and like building summoning circles and farm and stuff, and then there is 4 different regions that you can go explore, each have a different theme. One's kind of like nautical, one's the dark wood, one whatever. And you go into these randomly procedural like dungeons and go and like collect resources and other followers and stuff. But it is the most bizarre game I have played in a really long time, that is so charming in such a dark way that I just can't get enough of it.
What are you playing it on?
Switch.
Okay.
But it's been great too because the art style is really cool. So I actually have been playing it on my TV to really get the colors and everything.
Yeah.
But then it is really nice just to be able to pick it up and then go and like chill for a minute and just like, I got time for like one run of a dungeon, because each run is like 6-8 minutes long.
That's what I love about roguelikes.
Yeah. And like, but what's also fun, I really like roguelikes too, and I love the randomly created dungeons like Loop Hero. I really enjoy. But it does get frustrating when it is like one of those situations you die and it resets completely. It is nice to still have like, it's pretty forgiving on what resources it takes away from you as like punishment for death.
Oh, really?
It's like 25% of whatever you got.
Jesus. Okay.
But I'm like, compared to other games where you just lose everything.
Yeah.
But like the death thing hasn't super hindered me, and like I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like I wasn't super, but yeah, it's like someone starts to like dislike you, you lock them up in like the stocks, and you have to re-educate them. It's just like, or like there was this one follower that I really like. He's like a little Cthulhu looking dude, and he got his loyalty really up. So I gave him a gift, and I found this like necklace, this little moon necklace, and I was like, oh, what does this do? And it makes it so your follower can doesn't ever have to sleep. So I have this one guy running around always working like day and night. But what's funny though, it doesn't get rid of the fact that he's tired. He just can't sleep. So his animation, he's got these big bags under his eyes, and he looks miserable. And that's like, this is such a weird thing to talk about, because there is something so charming and like cute about the game, but then also it's like almost Happy Tree Friends, where it's like,
it's super dark.
It's so dark, but it's so cute looking. That's what's like almost charming. Like even I just got this ability to bring back, he ended up dying, and I got this ability to resurrect followers, and I was like, no, you're not done working. And I brought him back to life. It's so twisted, and I love it. Oh God, it's so weird. And like one guy, this was like a knee jerk thing, but one of my followers came up and was like, just so you know, loyalty and prayer is at an all-time low. If you don't get us to believe in you again, we'll leave in a max exodus. And I out loud was like, don't make me get the Kool-Aid.
Nice.
I was like, what? She's like, are you talking to your little cult people? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm about to get the Kool-Aid out. It's such a fucking, it's so ridiculous that
when did it come out? Like a month ago?
August 11th.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Like it just came out.
All right, cool.
And it's also like $25-$30.
I think I possibly saw it on the Switch store because I have been just like casually on my Switch lately.
Yeah.
But it's also, I'm like, I don't have money to buy anything. I'm looking at, it's like a kid looking through through the window, like the things that I wish I could have.
I mean, I do that all the time. I'm constantly, at least once a week, just on all the stores, just out of curiosity, because I just like to be, up to date with stuff. But yeah, I saw that it was like $30, and I was like, I was really curious about this. I remember hearing about it come out and being promoted as cult Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
and I was like, you know what? Like, I like roguelikes now, like maybe whatever, and I think it's so messed up, but it's really enjoyable. And you can customize your followers and give them names and like choose what they look like. So you could make an entire and you can and it's just fun. And that's the thing is like it's pretty basic. You can create a missionary, and you can send people out and they'll go get supplies. And it gives you statistics of like what's the chance they'll come back and all that kind of stuff. And all that's like pretty cut and dry like for this style of game.
Yeah,
but it really is. The art style is really cute. The music is really great. And then there's this like dark little twisted part of it that is what makes it like the aesthetic. They're running around. You're like, oh look, there's my temple, and it has a huge pentagram, and there's like skulls on the side. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh, devil.
Yeah, it's like so bizarre. I was telling Julia about it, and she's like, what? I was like, that's sick, dude.
I love that whole feeling, that whole thing of like turning the occult into adorableness, like.
It's like it's making a joke on organized religion, basically.
Yeah, Christianity is nothing but a cult, in my opinion. So,
but and that's why like I kind of like it. Like I could see people saying like being like this is really insensitive, and I agree. I'm like, yeah, it is, but it also is like it's funny. It's what I mean. It's still funny, and we've known people that have been involved in sex of a different ideology, so. AKA cults. And, it's like, I don't know. I think, especially because myself and my partner, we're always watching cult documentaries and like stuff like that. And it's like, so I do know that it is a very serious issue, but that's the kind of the point of the satire behind it, Yeah,
but I mean, it isn't like all of the like imagery in this game. It's all based through like, it's making fun of Christianity and it's occultism, or like the opposite of like Satanism type stuff.
It's kind of leaning.
Cults itself aren't necessarily always about Satan.
No, yeah, no, it's not. But this is kind of leaning more towards like the elder gods, like a Cthulhu.
Okay, fair, yeah.
Like there's a ritual you can do where, well, one, you can make it that your followers are happy to be sacrificed, which is twisted, and then you do a sacrifice and a big tentacle monster comes and they're like yay, and they get pulled into the underworld. So there's like there's a little bit and even the one that lies beneath, he's a very four-eyed creature, and he doesn't even particularly look like, he looks like a cat mixed with like a centipede mixed with, what I mean, there's nothing super distinct in an already built ideology. This is a totally made up world and religion, They just, but there's a couple pentagrams here and there, but even then pentagrams is pagan, not just Satan, But yeah, I mean, I haven't really so I got it like the day it came out, and I've been playing it very casual. That's what I like about it too. I've been playing it very casually, like an hour, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day, save. But I think it's so good. And I was like, oh, wow, you have Animal Crossing, and now I have Animal Crossing. Way more for me, though.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that the base building is pretty basic, which I was kind of like...
I mean, for being a roguelike, it sounds like it has a lot more avenues on it than any other roguelike I've ever played.
That's a good point.
Most roguelikes that I've played is like when you, after you're either finished the level or, die and, get back to your main spot, all you're doing is just investing in building towers or investing in building more inventory to buy. Like, it doesn't, like, there's no, like, investing in like towns, you know, like of
Yeah.
people. Like that sounds like a pretty like in-depth rogue.
Yeah,
roguelike.
that's a good point. Like for a roguelike especially. And then there's like little quests they'll come up to you and be like, "Hey, like I really like living here, but it's not very pretty. Can you like add some decorations?" And then you just And once I didn't really think about that, but once I was asked it, I actually went into the decoration tab and I was like, "Oh, you can actually make this a little more unique looking to your aesthetic within the confines of what they provide you."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, 2 thumbs up for me. I really enjoy it.
That sounds awesome.
It's really cool.
I definitely I wouldn't mind giving a couple playthroughs on your
Yeah.
Switch to see if I would actually buy it.
Yeah, like I think you'll like it too. I think you'll like the art
Yeah,
a lot. But yeah, so that's what I'm currently working on. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's short too, but I'm taking like my sweet time with it.
Well, I mean, what's nice with roguelikes though is like they might be relatively short on like if you actually kind of like, you know, beat all of the levels, but that's if you can beat all of the levels.
Yeah, like I mean, I beat there's like 3 mini bosses and then the main boss, and there are 4, so there's however many. But I'm like on the second mini boss of like the new region I unlocked.
Yeah.
And I'm having like a hard time with him, but also I'm not really committing to it. I'm just kind of like, oh, I died, whatever, and put it away.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, so we'll see. But yeah. Cult of the Lamb.
I wouldn't really say I'm currently playing anything, honestly. I mean, I did just recently restart playing Donkey Kong Country 2. Is it Diddy's Conquest? No.
That sounds dirty.
Diddy Conquests. I just figured out. I just saw a meme the other day where it's like I've been reading it wrong my entire life type thing. I was like, what the fuck? I can't remember. But anywho, yeah, I just. No, like I said, I'm on that palate cleanser, that nostalgia kick. But I'm like halfway through it, and it's kind of fun just to sit there and be like, oh yeah, where were all the bonuses in this stage? Where was the DK coin in this stage?
Kind of turning the gears in a part of your brain that haven't turned for a minute.
Yeah,
that's always kind of fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's like, what I did with. I did that with Skyrim. Like I put it on unironically, and I was going through because there's so much. I was texting Kevin about it too.
See, that's funny. That's your nostalgia game, and for me, that's a game that came out as when I was adult. That I'm like, that's not nostalgia. That's a game that I would have just played at beat.
Skyrim isn't nostalgia for me. Like if you want to go like Morrowind and Oblivion, are fair. You know, but yeah, like,
but it's still a game that you can turn on and replay, so that's nostalgic for you.
Well, I think I guess, but the only reason I did was because I read about when they did their 10th anniversary, all the stuff they added. All the mods. Yeah, I was like, this is kind of a different game. Like I could avoid everything I did before and just do everything new, and I'd probably have a solid like 10 hours of stuff to do that I've never done just because they just added just added it casually in the last decade since that game's release.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing some Donkey Kong Country 2. I might actually try to. I don't think I really remember playing or beating the first Donkey Kong Country, so I might actually just sit there and play that as well for a minute.
I didn't. I've
100%ed the second one and the third one a couple of times. Especially the second one multiple times because the second one I owned on cartridge. There's the only one that I ever owned on cartridge. I still own on cartridge.
I still own on cartridge.
Yeah. So
I always have trouble with the mining level, the cart.
That is one of the hardest levels.
Yeah, as to this day, I still have a hard time with
the timing on some of those jumps is ridiculous.
That was one of my sister's boyfriend would have to always help me get past that one.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've actually ever done that level on my. I'm gonna try now.
When I get to it, I'll bring it over.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
cool.
I'm actually at one right now where it's Well, are you talking about for the first like actual Donkey Kong or just any of the like the roller cart levels in general, or is there one specific one that you're thinking of?
I'm thinking of Super Nintendo Donkey Kong.
The first one.
Yes.
Okay, so
because I only ever played the first one.
You just said you had a second one though.
No, I thought we were talking about. I have the cartridge for the first one.
No, I have the cartridge for the second one.
Oh, I have the cartridge for the first one.
The second one is the one that I've 100%ed many times.
Okay, yeah, no, I've only ever played the first one, and I own the cartridge for the first one. Sorry, that was miscommunication.
Okay, but yeah, no, even still, those cart levels are a bitch.
I think
you would really like playing Donkey Kong Country 2 because the mechanics are just a little bit more crisp.
A little tighter.
Yeah.
I think my cartridge still has like a Blockbuster or Hollywood sticker on it.
Hollywood Video?
Yeah. Whoa. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because Hollywood Video closed down before Blockbuster in my town. and they just sold a bunch of their.
Same.
Yeah.
No, Hollywood Video went bankrupt before Blockbuster.
Yeah, I liked Hollywood Video better.
I did too.
Yeah.
Well, what's you looking forward to?
This is kind of a blanket thing, but I've been really like keeping my eye on it for a minute. Unreal Engine 5 release.
Yeah. It's been in works for
ever,
like a decade at least.
And I mean, for anyone that's like you've ever played a video game, you have played Unreal Engine at some point.
Probably
1, 2, 3, or 4, because they are everywhere. Like even for just Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, Little Nightmares 1 and 2, Sea of Thieves, Fallen Order, Hellblade, Fortnite. The reason I bring those up is because of how vastly different all those games are. And that's what's cool about Unreal. What?
You remember did you ever play the Unreal game?
Unreal Tournament and Unreal?
Yeah.
I think I played Unreal Tournament.
Why are you saying tournament so weird?
What am I saying?
Tournament?
I played Unreal Tournament. What? What do you want from me?
Say whip. But I remember when Unreal, the first engine, like when it was first coming out.
That was like 2001, I think.
Before that.
Are you sure? I thought Unreal started in 2001. I could be totally
2000, maybe 1999 at the latest.
Okay.
Because like look up when the first Unreal game came out, because it was only PC, and my dad got it. So it had to have been before, or it could have been early 2001, because my dad passed away in 2001. And it was groundbreaking how cool these graphics were. And looking back at those graphics now, they're not very cool looking, really. But there was something special about the game that you could feel like they were trying to do. They were doing something more.
Yeah, you were right. 98.
98?
Yeah.
Okay. And that it was strange to I felt like while I was playing like the game, I was like, this feels like the future of video games.
Well, that's what's crazy about it. Like, because if you like go onto the Wikipedia and look at Unreal and just go through their generations, the game list is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if you have I'm assuming, well, PS5 also had the Matrix Unreal 5 tour you could do. And I did it. I downloaded it, and it really is, all it is like, it's just a city, and you can go like creative mode and fly around the city to like get an idea, and you can change the time of day. And
I am the one.
Yeah, basically, you're basically first person Neo just flying around.
Yeah.
But it's like, look it up. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
What they're like going to be able to do, and the fact that it's like free for download right now, and you can just, so it's free for download. This is
only on the PlayStation 5, right?
To like the actual program to make video games.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's free to download, and they only will basically it's free until your product makes a million or over, then they want to kick back a 15%. So you can use this program and fuck around with it and try and make a video game and just tinker around and just use it. Cool. And then if your shit takes off, then you have to pay them 15% of whatever, over the million or over.
It's like, okay, yeah, you can do that. You can have 15%.
But how crazy is that? They're like, yeah, use this brand new state of the art thing that we have created.
It's called socialism.
But
it's called proper communism.
But yeah, I'm like super excited to see what happens. You know what I mean? I don't know, like, well, because like also too, there's a list right now of just things that are rumored or confirmed or rumored. I'm just gonna say rumored because also with the video game world, you will hear so much stuff. But like, apparently Arc 2, which is coming out next year, is going to be in the new Unreal Engine. Fortnite's going to be getting the upgrade.
Yeah, that makes sense. God, that game's going to get looking so smooth then.
Yeah. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. the new Witcher game, which
Nice.
Witcher really needs an update on their engine.
Yep.
The new Untitled Tomb Raider game.
Ooh.
Hellblade 2. Like, there's gonna be some really cool, like, shit on here, and I'm really curious, like, what it's gonna look like. Oh, Black Myth.
Black Myth.
Wukong, the monkey. Martial,
Oh, yeah,
that's gonna be on Unreal Engine.
Ooh. Oh, dude, that game looks so good.
Yeah, so I'm just like, so that's what I meant about like this part of it was gonna just be Umbrella because it's just so weird. I never really cared until I got older about the actual
Mechanics or
technical side of it.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's like, especially for being a gamer for so long, I start noticing studios and names of stuff. And so I think also doing this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And actually, like every day, every week, writing down notes and writing down names, you start to see a pattern. You're like, oh, oh, I didn't know that Annapurna did this too, or I didn't know that, so.
You don't realize how much of a monopoly it all is.
But yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, just Google Unreal Engine 5 and just go and like read it on their website, like what they're claiming it's going to be able to do. I mean, at this point too, it's free to download and out. So
yeah. I mean, it's doing it.
It's doing it.
Doing it and doing it and doing it. Yes. Is there any more with that you're excited with?
I just think it's cool, and also because of what we've seen on Unreal 4, like I was saying earlier, and the vast difference, from Fallen Order and Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
both the same engine, but completely, vastly different.
One of my favorite things is like what people going through and like taking like old, like 64 games and putting them into an Unreal Engine. Like someone redid all of Mario 64 in I think the Unreal 3 or Unreal 4 engine.
That doesn't seem like that would work.
It looks beautiful.
Really?
Like, someone also did a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time with that as well.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, dude.
I like that. That one piqued my interest.
Like,
oh my god, there's so much. Do Fable.
I think that's been done. Look it up.
Do Fable. Give that a facelift.
So yeah, no, that it'll be really
Fable
cool.
1.5. Oh, I forgot there is a new Fable.
Oh, there's a new Fable coming up?
Yeah, but it's like Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, in 30 years. You know what I mean? Well, also, even with Bethesda, too. Like
coming out in 2022. 652.
Well, it's like even Bethesda. Like I'm so excited for Starfield and Elder Scrolls, but it's like, when?
Yeah.
Apparently, Starfield's supposed to come out like mid next year. But
Starfield looks cool. I saw some shit for that.
Starfield, just the concept sounds cool.
Yeah.
Bethesda open world space exploration game.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, and also if they're going to have, well, I think they're using their engine, Creation Engine, but I think they're using Creation Engine 2. Because one was Skyrim, Fallout 4. What was the most recent Fallout?
76.
Well, before that.
4.
Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 are all Creation 1.
Yeah.
This new one's going to be Creation 2 because they also needed a fucking update.
Elder Scrolls Online, yeah.
They needed an update on there.
They've needed one for a long time.
Like,
I mean, because even like Fallout 4 does look, and 76 both look pretty decent, but it really isn't that much of an upgrade, in my opinion, from like New Vegas or even Fallout 3.
Well, then, yeah.
It's just things.
I agree.
It's just it's not as choppy is the best way for me to put it.
Yeah, because Fallout New Vegas is pretty. I put that on the other day, so that's Curiosity. It was on Game Pass or something, and that's pretty choppy.
Yeah.
But that's also a thing with Bethesda in general, is their writing has always been pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like their quest line, even if like 4, I thought the main quest line was kind of whatever, but there were still a lot of fun side quests to go do. And even Skyrim was kind of like whatever about the main one, but there's still cool shit to like explore.
Well, even just in Fallout 4 with them introducing the thing of like having like settlements and shit.
Yeah. And I was seeing too that in Starfield there's going to actually be like space battle.
Yeah.
And what podcast? Someone was saying that they actually got the explosions of space really cool.
Are they going to be quiet?
No, it's like they did it in between. It sounds like like underwater, because it would technically be quiet, but then it's like you're gonna be flying around and It's gonna be quiet. I don't know. So apparently they did some kind of in between where it's almost like something going off underwater.
That's actually kind of a cool idea or concept because the whole like it's all theoretical that there's no sound in space and because there's just nowhere for it to bounce off of. But that's also this. I mean,
and also, but like, okay, well, fine. But what about a plasma weapon?
Yeah, well, but that's also the same thing about like in underwater, like it's like the sound exists, but it's like I don't know. I don't know.
This is all what I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I didn't see this.
Well, no. Now I'm actually just kind of curious. Like, like the molecular structure of water is obviously vastly different from the molecular structure of space. But is it the absence of molecular structure, or is there an actual molecular structure of space?
And Bethesda makes creatures. Well, I'm not. I'm not doing that with you right now.
I just had a very stoner moment, like. What is space?
This is one of those moments I wish we had cameras because your face was like you were going down the rabbit hole. But yeah, no, Bethesda also makes creatures really well.
Yeah, they do.
Between Elder Scrolls and the Fallout series.
I just got really lightheaded.
Do you think that their creature design do you think they'll lean more into Fallout? Like a Deathclaw's a pretty alien looking thing.
It is. It's like prehistoric alien.
Yeah, it's some kind of like weird dinosaur. What is a Deathclaw? Is that mutated from anything? Do you know? I actually don't know what a Deathclaw actually is.
Yeah, no, neither do I actually.
Because I'm only asking because there's like the mole rat, and that's a mutated mole rat. There's rad scorpions, and those are just mutated. You know what I mean?
And the Meyer lurks are like
crabs.
Yeah, evolutions of like lobsters or crabs and stuff. Fucking giant lobsters in Elden Ring. God damn it, I hate those things. I just had a flashback.
I was so confused. I was like, "What? Yeah, they're also annoying. They pop out of nowhere."
Yeah.
No. But yeah, no, I'm really, yeah. Starfield sounds really cool, especially because I really liked. I think did I already mention this? I really liked, and I still do. I like No Man's Sky and like jumping in every now and then, but the lack of kind of real. I mean, there's direction, but I don't know. Playing No Man's Sky with an actual lore that Bethesda has written, I'm very excited for.
Yeah,
because I really like all their lore. And even then, now I think about it, Elder Scrolls doesn't take place on Earth. I just realized that.
No, it doesn't.
It has like multiple moons and suns and stuff. It's an entirely different planet.
Yeah, Fallout's the only one that takes place on like Earth.
Earth.
Yeah,
because even then
it's a parallel universe.
Yeah, like the timeline's different, but that is Earth. Yeah, Elder Scrolls isn't interesting.
What is the like style or genre idea of not like post-apocalyptic, but like where it's like the Pip-Boy, welcome. Now you're gonna do your
like retro futuristic, like like the Jetsons.
Mm-hmm. No, is it? I wouldn't say like I know what you mean. I see what you're trying to say there. It's something like it's like
I think it's retro futuristic.
That like the actual term, yeah, because like this, it's fun with this whole like the nuclear family being like it's almost like the Industrial Revolution like skipped like I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and it also just seems like the Cold War just keeps going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like this like weird alternate universe where like. The Cold War just continued.
It's kind of like
World War II had a different outcome.
Yeah, and like Nixon just kept getting himself voted, like Watchmen, whatever, what I mean, like that kind of that kind of parallel. Well, but also like with going back to Starfield too. Okay, I'm really curious to see like they got to be really careful because there is such a like kind of. They're cousins in a way. Yeah. The space race and the Cold War nuke thing. They're similar in aesthetic in certain aspects. Mm-hmm. So it's like they got to be really careful because you want it to be different enough where it doesn't feel like some kind of futuristic Fallout. You want it because it's their first IP in like 25 years.
Who developed Outer Worlds? Was that people that originally... Oh, was that people that did Fallout New Vegas?
That's the people that did New Vegas, I think.
Okay.
I think that's how that went down.
Okay.
That's why it feels so much like it.
Yeah.
It was the company that did New Vegas. But yeah, so I just think it's...
And the Outer Worlds literally feels like Fallout in space.
It does. I didn't really get into it. Also, this is such a weird thing. I didn't get into it because I kept trying to get into third person, and you can't in that game.
Oh.
because it's such a Bethesda feeling thing, but you can't. And I just found that really weird.
It's so weird how you like to play those games in third person, like, and how much I don't like first person games, but I prefer to play those games in first person.
Combat, I like to be in first person. Exploring, I like to be in third because I like to look at the world.
I just like to. I don't like to switch.
And
it's like, I just want to just let me live in a world.
And I don't like shit popping up behind me. Especially like you're running around and then suddenly a Deathclaw shows up. It's like I like to be able to see it come in my front peripheral.
There is something that's kind of satisfying though when you're in first person. You're like, what was that noise? And you turn around, there's a Deathclaw.
You're like, fuck! Or it's like worse. It's like a glowing. You're like, God damn it!
Like, run!
It's like, and it's really like one hit, dude, and I haven't saved in half an hour. Shit. So yeah, that was. I guess that was it.
I mean, there's nothing that I'm really excited. There's nothing that I can think of being excited for. I am, which is surprising because there's a new Pokemon coming out in the next month or two.
I know that, and I haven't heard anything about it.
Because we've already had a new Pokemon this year. It was fucking Arceus. And also, you're going back to the same old, it's like Violet and Sapphire or something. It's like the two colors. It's like, okay, we just,
You just jumped 10 steps backwards.
It's like, we just got Arceus. And, you just revolutionized Pokemon games. And now you want to go back? Like, why? Also, no, I'm not going to spend another fucking $60 on a Pokemon game. It's maybe in another 6 months,
I think it's
9 months.
I was going to say 1 to 2 years for me to play a Pokemon game.
And
because it is such a, if they made it so you could actually start transferring over your teams to other ones.
That'd be fucking cool shit.
Because
if I could transfer my shield, or did I have sword? I have shield. My shield, roster over to Violet Sapphire. I was like, that actually be kind of cool. Or maybe it's like you can do that after you beat it.
No, I mean...
because you don't want to start off the game with your fucking level 75.
Yes, I do, because I don't want to have to restart every single time. I want a little carryover because of that, and then grind the new Pokemon in that game.
Well, what if it was just like always new Pokemon? And it was like, well, I'm getting a new fucking Pidgeotto again.
That's what I don't want to.
Yeah, and regardless,
every time you have Pokemon, you have to completely start over, and it's annoying.
There's this new Pokemon game coming out that I like. You would think I would be excited for because I like Pokemon, but I'm not, because I feel like Arceus was really, really good in my opinion, and I don't know how they're going to top Arceus in the same fucking year. And also, I'm just kind of over this whole dual. You can buy both pre-bundled for $120. It's like, yo, fuck yourself, Nintendo. I'm done sucking your dick.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think.
So that was our 100th episode, everyone.
Happy 100!
Happy 100!
Woo! I don't like cake. The cake is a lie.
Thanks for coming with us on this journey.
Thanks for everybody that's that's listening. If you've listened to all 100 episodes, thank you.
This was a little lackluster, but we wanted to keep it easy peasy.
We're going to be doing a little bit more for our season 2 premiere type thing. We're 4 episodes away from that, so it's like,
we're going to be doing our end of the year show like last year, and all that stuff is coming up. So
maybe we'll do a little more pizzazz then.
We'll figure something out for that. So we finished up our movie band. What was it?
Movies.
Real bands
making real movies. Yeah.
So we finished that up. Have we set in stone? No, we
haven't fully set in stone.
We have an idea what's coming up. Okay.
And we got a week to figure it out. So
So when we know, you'll know. As per usual. So subscribe, let your friends know that it was our 100th episode. Woo!
Yeah, we've committed to something.
We made it to 100. You realize how crazy that is? Subscribe, follow us on Instagram,
Patreon,
thank you,
Spotify,
Google
Podcast,
Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your stuff. And like we said last time, or the time, or whenever, if there is a platform that you use and that we are not on, let us know and we'll happily add it. We want to be on everything. And that's about
pretty
it.
sure we're on everything, but
there might be some weird one.
The new podcast,
newpodcast.org. But so
Joe Rogan's podcast network. Actually, I would not do that one. I would not put it.
Would you be on your mom's house?
Huh?
Would you be on your mom's house?
Oh, I'd be on your mom's house in a heartbeat.
Hey, Tom. Or
Yeah.
Mr. Segura. I don't know.
I would, I'd be on your mom's house. I would love to fucking be on Two Bears. Hell yeah.
Come back to Seattle. We want to see you again.
Yeah.
So this is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. All right, bye.
Later, guys.